How'd I go?
It
went back to a countdown. No! Where'd it go? There we are. What is happening?
Back.
I had a hard time finding us there for a second. For those of you joining us either on a podcast or wherever else it is that you're joining us, not watching us live, just to give you the heads up, this is Angel, a.k.a. Profe, and Pickle Javier over here. We are going to be talking today about movies or shows that we'd like to see turn into video games.
Or stories in general.
Stories in general. I like that. Stories in general. Also, with that in mind, we are live on Twitch, gote.tv. We are in there, twitch.tv/GamersOnTheEdge. Subscribe, follow, do all that cool stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah. But if you hear us answering some random question, it's probably somebody on the stream who asked a question or made a suggestion, and we're reading and answering at the same time. So again,
it's really hard because we just learned how to read like last week.
Yeah.
It was
hooked on phonics. It's a beautiful thing.
Hooked on phonics.
Yeah.
Man.
So
shout outs to Duolingo.
Shout outs to that doggone
that owl.
That owl is killing me. All right, I actually had Duolingo on my phone for like a week.
Yeah, they're probably sending people door to door who are ignoring their notifications. Like,
during the quarantine,
we know you're stuck in your house.
During the quarantine, they're in there. They're coming after you. Do not answer the door. Is the Duolingo?
Do not answer the door.
Is the Duolingo owl trying to
stay
get
safe,
in?
everyone.
You have not answered. Yeah, he's trying to tell you how to stay safe in different languages. That's probably what he's trying to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to. We got a spit shot. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna jump right into this thing. And again, we don't talk to each other. All we do is pick a subject, and then we get together and talk about it. We don't talk about what your thoughts are, my thoughts. We literally come in here, and I hear your thoughts for the first time. As a matter of fact, this is our third episode. On the very first episode, we did top 10 animated movies.
Yes.
Your number 10 was Emperor's New Groove. And I was ashamed that it didn't even make my top 10. You literally
Emperor's New Groove would have been like top 5 in his list.
You broke my list before I even started. It was bad.
It was really bad.
I felt bad. Yeah.
And then, to give you guys an idea of how unprepared we are for some of these, the last video, like, he came to me after we did the first one. He was like, the first video did pretty well. People want us to be on another podcast. And I didn't know what the podcast was about until, like, the day before. And then I didn't even know what we were talking about until we got onto the podcast.
We just want to make sure that it's fresh.
It's natural.
It's fresh. It's natural.
Nobody wants all natural.
Nobody wants natural.
No.
So you're listening to the viewpoint of a 20-year-old and a 48-year-old.
Yes.
So you have different worlds. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to whisper louder.
Whisper.
Different worlds.
That was so bad. All right. So this will be on YouTube later. It'll be on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we just got approved for like all the podcasts. Which is
pretty sick.
Which is really funny because some of them were like, just sign up and you're done. Like, okay, that was it. All right. Others like iTunes and Google Podcasts, they're like, no, they took like 2 days to approve it. They're like, we got to make sure it's good. We got to approve it. I'm like,
quality control.
Obviously, but not a whole lot of quality control because we got approved. So just look it up under Gamers Viewpoint if you want to listen to this later. And again, we have 2 other ones. We did have it's really funny because we have a really short one, which is like our very first one was like 23 minutes. And our second one went like an hour and 27 minutes. But we did have co-host Tutaku who joined us for the event. That was really cool. We had a good time with them. So that one was Anime for Newbies.
Karaoke.
Anime for Newbies. That's right. The hips and the karaoke. But if you want to find out about hips and karaoke,
please watch the last video.
You gotta either watch the last video or listen to it on the podcast. So we were going to get started, but we easily get sidetracked around here. So let's see. What did you come up with?
The Ottoman likes your hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I am a hat person. Shameless plug. Right there. This is a company. Actually, this was made by my wife's aunt who lives in New York. She used to be a designer for Kangol hats. And then she had her own company, started her own company, Block Headwear. And that's what this is. I got a few of those. I love hats.
Yeah.
If you can't see them on the podcast, I understand that, but don't worry about it. It looks good. She's really good.
It's really nice. It's really fancy.
Fancy. So anyway, so let's get started. And again, Ottman, you got ideas of movies or series that you like to see as video games, you can start tossing them on there on the stream. Javier will read them. I'm too old to see that far. But Javier can read them. So give me one that made your list.
So I tried...
By the way, this is no particular order because we try to do like top 5 and we really couldn't come up with an order, so we're just throwing them all out there.
So I tried to come up with 10. It didn't happen.
No, it's not.
So I came up with 5. I tried to push it to 7.
I did too. I still got stuck on 5. Don't worry about it. So
there's only 5.
So what's one of your lists? Let's see if it's on my list here.
So one of the first ones is definitely the Percy Jackson series.
The
Percy Jackson series. I feel like it would be really hard to... For those of you who don't know, the Percy Jackson series is about the Greek gods and...
More coffee. There you go.
The Greek gods and, like, the demigods in the modern day world. Which I think would be really cool for, like, an MMO or something where you could create your own demigod. But the only problem with that is, you end up having, like, people who only watched, like, the Percy Jackson movies, or they only read the Percy Jackson books and like don't know anything about like any of the other
kind of like the Harry Potter games. Although they were bad.
They were really bad.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Like they should be on the list just because I feel like nobody's made a Harry Potter game yet. Like that's how bad they were.
But the problem I think we're gonna run into if we actually end up seeing a Percy Jackson game that's like an MMO where you get to create your own demigod is where everybody's gonna like choose Poseidon, because in the world there's a camp and there's multiple cabins, like one for each Greek god and goddess, but Percy Jackson is the main character. Which means that everybody's gonna love Poseidon and be like, I want to be like Percy Jackson. So there's gonna be like absolutely no variety.
We did see quite a bit of variety in the Harry Potter, even though Harry is technically the guy.
The difference between which, by the way, you don't want to get me started on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a terrible main character. Like the movie, I feel like the premise...
We lost him!
I feel like the premise of the movies and the books was way better than the actual movies and books. Like, the premise is amazing, and then you just ruin it with a main character like Harry Potter. He's so
whiny.
beyond whiny.
Yeah.
Like, he has Ron and he has Hermione, but, like, he's just so... He's too whiny. Right. Okay, I'm gonna end it there.
Yeah. Move on. So I get that. I'll tell you what one of mine was. I had John Wick. John Wick would be such a cool video game.
It would be really cool.
It would be just pointless though. We're just shooting everything. So I mean, does it need a storyline?
I feel like it would play kind of like the Batman games. So it would either play like the Batman games, or it would be this, like, shooter with so many unnecessary quick time events. Like, Rise.
It would have...
Rise, Son of Rome. It would end up being like that.
It probably would play a lot like Rise. Although, in all fairness, I did like Rise. My only issue with Rise was that it was so short.
Rise is really short.
I didn't even mind the quick time events. It was just short. The game was really short. It was a great game. If you haven't played Rise, play it.
It's probably like $2 now.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap right now. Great game.
It was an
It
Xbox One release game.
It does have quick time events, but they're not bad. It looks. I'm telling you, it's a great game. It's just short.
It's like you're playing a movie instead of just playing a game.
Yeah, because you're gonna finish it in about 2.5 hours. It's a movie. It's like you're playing a movie. You're right. I can see John Wick playing just like Rise. Obviously, different era, but yeah, I can see that.
I think that there would still be too many quick time events, but that's just me.
Yeah, stay away from those.
Just stay away from the quick time events.
And
they're really good in. Okay, so a game that does quick time events well is Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, agreed.
Kingdom Hearts quick time events are fine. They're sporadic throughout the game,
and they're quick. I think that some people lose track of quick time events. What the word "quick" means.
I can't stand when you're not playing a quick time event. You're playing a cutscene.
Yes.
It
lasts
lasts too long.
What was it? Dragon's Lair? Was it?
Dragon's Lair is literally that's the epitome of just going too far. Like, I respect Dragon's Quest.
Dragon's Quest. That's what we're talking about.
Dragon's Nest is a really bad South Korean MMO. I think.
I don't even know. Anyway, so Dragon Quest, the one that we're talking about, that's super.
It's.
I remember when that came out, by the way, because again, I'm 48 years old. I remember when that came out in the arcade, and we would go to arcade cabinet, throw our quarters at it just to see how beautiful it looked, because it looked beautiful. But literally, you'd push the button once or twice.
Yeah.
And the game was over. It was so bad.
It's like you're done.
It was so bad.
It was a quarter eater.
Yeah. So what's your next game? What are the games you got?
Excuse me. Maze Runner.
Maze Runner.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me about that one. Why'd you choose that one? That's pretty cool.
A lot of the game, the movies or the stories that I chose are about not the main story that you follow in the books or the movies, but probably in an off-branch kind of story. So in Maze Runner, you have
Hunger Games part next.
You have the people in the maze, and they end up escaping the maze, yada, yada, yada. If you haven't seen the movies, it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
Since the first one.
Catch up. Let's go.
So in the movies, it's insinuated that there's multiple mazes out there. So I think it would be really cool.
Oh, to see some of the other mazes.
Have
that would be cool.
To have the main story, make your own character. I'm a lot about making your own person and immersion in games.
Which is funny because I only have one game. No, I don't have any games where you can make your own character. None of my games are like that.
But yeah, just make your own character and have your own experience trying to escape the maze.
I can see that. I can see Hunger Games too. Even though Hunger Games is not on my list, if Hunger Games was done right, that could be cool too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not talking about any kind of MMO style of game. I'm talking more about Mass Effect, where it's very story based, but you get to control how the story goes.
And with story based is my next one. My next one on the list so far, I got John Wick. My next one is Braveheart. Braveheart would be cool if done right. And again, that's the trick to a lot of these games. How do you do these right? Braveheart obviously has a definite story. I can see Braveheart playing a lot like Shadows of Mordor. I can see Braveheart playing like that. You know? Obviously not... I'm just saying, that kind of engine, that kind of movement. I can see that. That would be kind of cool.
Again, I think it would play more like Rise, Son of Rome, because
it could. So I would like it to play more like Mordor, though.
Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you haven't played that, amazing game.
Amazing game.
That is basically Assassin's Creed meets Arkham Asylum. The whole Batman and Assassin's Creed coming together.
The coolest
that's what
thing
that is.
about Shadows of Mordor, the whole series, is that you can actually brainwash orcs and make your own orc armies, and they can take over Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Also, just just play it.
The bad thing about Braveheart is you're going to lose at the end of the game anyway.
Yeah. At least you don't have to worry about a cliffhanger.
Like,
you have to worry about a hanger, just not a cliffhanger.
But you're going down. All right, so what's your next one there?
My next one... I already saw one that's on your list. That's on my list.
Uh-oh.
You know which one that is.
What is it?
Stargate.
Stargate. So we both have Stargate on there. I would love to see the Stargate game that never happened. So if you follow Stargate at all, you might have seen there was an episode where there's a guy playing a video game.
So what it was a
more coffee.
There was a virtual reality training simulator that they had in the episode, and they would go into this training simulator and they would do dangerous missions, but
and you can see this guy in the background playing a video game, and it's the video game that was supposed to be released, and it never happened. It kept getting pushed back. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it later. It just never happened. I think Stargate would be an amazing video game. I think Stargate would definitely be amazing. So that covered you and me. So I'm gonna throw it back at you. But yes, for those of you producers, whoever you are, get back on that Stargate. Bring it back to life. That'd be awesome. So what else you got?
So
I got 2 left. What are your?
This
last
is another one that would be like not. Well, actually, I'm gonna leave that one for last.
Okay.
I would say A Quiet Place.
Oh, okay.
A Quiet Place would make a really cool video game.
Yeah.
Just the
Did they ever make a I Am Legend video game? I feel like they did.
I would assume they did. I was thinking about it, but then I'm like, no, there's no way they didn't make a game. No matter how bad it was.
It was the Left 4 Dead type idea. I Am Legend would have been cool. If I don't even know if they did that. Did anybody? If you know whether they did I Am Legend,
I Am Legend would definitely be closer to Last of Us.
Yeah. Let us know, because that would be cool. I don't know if you can read what's happening up there.
Didn't Hunger Games inspire the Battle Royale genre? I don't think so.
So, I know a lot of people think Hunger Games inspired the Battle Royale, but Battle Royale has been around forever.
Yeah.
I think the difference between the Fortnite idea, the Battle Royale, and the Hunger Games is that there would be more than just survive. There has to be a storyline that goes along with it.
I think he was just talking about, like...
Yeah. I think the Battle Royale definitely took off big after Hunger Games,
but Battle
it was
Royale
around before that.
The Hunger Games is a Battle Royale series, like as in like so Battle Royale is not like Battle Royale is not strictly like the Fortnite concept, like the way that you're making it sound. It's
I'll be honest with you, I would like Battle Royale better.
Like Hunger Games is a Battle Royale.
Yes,
like,
if I got to pick my character. Like in Hunger Games, each character had their different strengths. I would love a game that's kind of Battle Royale where they drop you in, but you get to pick your strengths. So you can either be, good at distance, or you can be, good at close combat, but you can't be good at both, where you can make, like, okay, I'm going to go with what you were saying. Make your own character. You get 100 points to spend however you want. Yeah. We're going to drop you in and go survive. But that would be more interesting than just run around and pick whatever weapons is laying around. To me.
What I think he's asking is just, like, not inspiring Fortnite or anything, just the genre.
Yeah, the genre. I understand.
The genre has been around for longer than Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's cheating. He's looking it up.
I'm gonna do quick research because there is a manga called Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, that's been around forever.
Royale manga.
So,
Battle Royale manga came out. When's it?
Let's see here. Give us a date.
The original run started in December of 2003, and then the Hunger Games.
2003.
Oh wait, Hunger Games release.
And Hunger Games.
Hunger Games
was 2012.
Wait, book release. Book
yeah,
release.
book release.
Hunger Games book release. The original one was in 2008.
So it's 5 years after.
Yeah. And that's if it didn't exist before the Battle Royale series.
And I know that was huge because actually, so for those of you joining us that don't know much about us, we are founders of Gamers on the Edge, and we do fundraising for Children's Miracle Network hospitals through gaming, and basically we take care of all the game rooms and all the gaming consoles at the local hospital as well, and we've donated just over $80,000 since we started doing this, so it's been a really cool journey. So your subs, your follows, all that stuff really helps us to make a difference in the lives of kids. But with that said, one of the early events that we did was MetroCon, and we had practically the entire series of
Battle Royale,
and that we sold there to raise money for the kids.
Didn't
Donated
one person...
by Emerald City too.
Yeah.
So thank you, Emerald City
Shout
Comics.
outs to them.
Yeah. But yeah, somebody just came in and grabbed the whole
and it's like
series.
Battle Royale.
They were so happy.
So I feel bad for the people upstairs because we had no idea what we were selling.
Yeah, we sold it for dirt cheap because again we were just trying to raise money.
We were trying to raise money.
We were just trying to raise money. We're not trying to make a living off of this, So it was really cool. But yeah, that was definitely one of the first ones that we did. I specifically remember that because people were going crazy over it, and that one guy came in and bought the whole series.
Yeah.
So that one's you got one left, right? So before you give your last one, I got two left. One of them is going to be Serenity. Serenity would be cool. And the thing is, Serenity is so wide open at this moment in time because it was so short. You can really just take it wherever you want at this point, in my opinion. Serenity would be cool.
Has no one made anything for that?
I don't think so. You'd get this really cool space cowboy thing going on. Serenity would be a great game. You could pick which character you want to be. That'd be cool too. If you could pick which character you want. That would be awesome.
Lied.
He lied.
I have 6.
He's got. Give me this one that before you give me your number 1. Give me this one that you're talking about.
I'd rather give the other one last.
All right, whichever one you want to give me.
So the one that was originally number 1, just by proxy.
By proxy.
Like. There really is no number 1. It just ended up being number 1 because I said it last. But Konosuba. So Konosubarashi. I can't remember the full title, but for those of you who don't know the story of Konosuba, it's about this person who dies and he gets transported into this other world, like this fantasy world.
Okay.
And in this fantasy world, he can't leave. Like, he can't leave unless he beats this demon king, which is like plaguing the world. If he defeats this demon king, he gets to be reborn back on Earth.
Okay.
The problem is, he's absolutely useless. Like, he has absolutely no skill whatsoever. And the rest of his party, which he gathers during the first season, they're all really powerful in certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
But, so you have a mage who is incredible at using explosion magic. Makes huge giant mushroom clouds.
Right.
And the problem is she can only use it once a day. And she passes out. She can't move for the rest of the day.
Can't move.
Can't move for the rest of the day.
All right. So you better use it in the right place.
Then you have
you're stuck there.
Then you have a goddess that he ran into after dying, and she gave him one wish, and he can bring one thing with him into this new world.
This world. What'd she bring?
she was being really sassy, so he brought her with him.
Nice.
So she's stuck in this world, and she's really, really powerful against, like, undead things and demons, but nothing else.
All right.
And then you have a paladin who she's really strong, but she has terrible luck, so she can never land a hit.
So he's basically got to figure out how to use these things that
he's
has.
got to figure out how to like use this team and try to survive in this world. But I think it would be really funny for them to add a character and like a whole new storyline, and you're that new character. And your character's really strong in one aspect, but like you have this huge fatal flaw. And I think it would be just be really cool to run
cake.
through. You're allergic to cake, you just explode.
Sorry, that's Jumanji, the new one.
But
go watch it.
Yeah, you just have to figure out how to survive in this world and use that one really overpowered aspect of yourself without falling to your fatal flaw.
All right, I dig that. What's your number one?
Your
new number one.
Clue.
Oh, okay.
Clue, except instead of being the detective, you're the murderer. And you spend the whole game trying to get away with
people.
murder.
Yeah, to mislead people.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool game. I can see that. I can definitely see that. So, my last game, as we're getting close to closing this up here, I'm going to take people way back. Now, I know a lot of younger people have never seen this. Just go with me. I'll explain it here in a second. But for those of you who are older, my number one game, and I mean number one, because I would have liked to have I've been talking about this for 10 years now. I would love to see somebody make Quantum Leap. Especially now with VR. Quantum Leap VR would be so cool. So, for those of you who don't know Quantum Leap, let me give you a little background. I'm going to super simplify this, but in Quantum Leap, the main character is jumping around from time era to time era. He gets there and he jumps into somebody's body. He has no idea whose body he just jumped into. So the first 5 minutes of the show was usually him trying to figure out who he was. He's looking for a mirror. He's talking to people, asking questions. He has no idea whether he's a man, a woman. He doesn't know if he's, 25 years old or if he's 85 years old. He doesn't know anything about himself. So in VR, this would be really cool because you jump into this character, no clue who you are. And
look at yourself in a mirror and you're like, not again.
Yeah. And then he has to figure out why he's there. So for some crazy reason in Quantum Leap, every time he leaped into somebody's body was to fix something. And sometimes they were like pretty heavy subjects, like the JFK assassination. So
times he was a chimpanzee.
Yeah, there was one where he was the chimp that they were the first chimp ever to go into outer space.
Yeah.
So it's all historical. So the JFK, for example. So this is a real good one to explain. When he gets there, he thinks that he's there to save JFK himself, and he finds out that he's one of his bodyguards. But ultimately, he finds out that he's the one that pulled JFK's wife back into the vehicle so she doesn't get shot. So, and then as soon as you solve or you fix whatever it is you came to fix or do right,
you go back.
You literally just leap into somebody else's body somewhere else in time again. So
you get no closure or
no,
anything.
you
it's
literally
just like,
oh,
that's done.
You got to do the right thing. You got to fix something, and as soon as you fix it, they're like, whoop, and you're gone. And he has Al who helps him out. Al gives him clues. Al is a hologram who is in the future, and Al again just gives him little clues here and there. But Al doesn't know much more than he does. But anyway, so it's just a really, really cool game. The thing about it is, honestly, it would be a cash cow, in my opinion, because you could make 20 episodes of Quantum Leap and just DLC that bad boy for like ever.
It'd make a decent Telltale game.
It would be DLC forever because again, there's so much history and there's so many things that happen.
If you remember,
you could like something happened 5 years ago. You could make a DLC about what happened 5 years ago.
If you do you know who Telltale is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like back when Telltale was making all of the Walking Dead series.
Mm-hmm.
They just released episode after episode after episode. The only problem that I see, with Quantum Leap is a lot of it, there wouldn't be a lot of action.
No.
At all.
Well, some of it there is, and that would be really interesting because, for example, in one of the Quantum Leap episodes, he's a boxer. So you could put him in situations. There was one episode, I watched all of them, so there was one episode where he was a boxer. There was one episode where he was a race car driver. There was one episode where he was a dancer, and he doesn't know how to dance. So that one was rather humorous as well. Because everybody else just sees the body of the person who he just took over. They have no idea why he's acting different. But he has
thanks
to
for
find
following
out who
Ominous.
everybody is. So yeah, thank you so much for the follows, guys.
Ominous said, I think most, if not all, video game movies should be animated. It would give a chance for the art direction to be more accurate, and the original voice cast would be allowed to return.
That would be cool.
So
I can see that.
That would be really cool, but we're also talking about like movies and shows and books into video games rather than the other way around. Although, however, I
think your idea of a couple of these games where you make your own character animated would be perfect. Be a great way to go. I think Quantum Leap with VR, I don't know. That'd be interesting because again, this is a historical point of view. So anyway, go ahead.
All video games obviously have to be animated, but along what Ominous was saying, I was actually, I actually thought about like to try to come up with a few games that would be cool movies, and I could only think of one. I want to see Dark Souls movies. I think Dark Souls movies would be absolutely incredible. The animation could be stellar. Because there wouldn't be a lot of dialogue unless they tweaked a few things.
Like going back to the original Conan the Barbarian.
There's not a lot of dialogue, but there's a lot of blood and gore. But well, just because the...
Wait, so in the movie, does the guy die like 3 times in the same spot and then come back again? Because I've seen you play the game. I know it happens. You died there again?
Yeah.
For the 5th time?
I think it would be, really cool.
It's so hard to make video games into movies. I mean, I know they tried Assassin's Creed.
So, yeah, I heard that the Assassin's Creed movie was terrible.
I didn't even watch it. It hurt. I couldn't do it.
The Otman said, my brother and I have talked about a polished TMNT fighting game with the right art direction and good team behind it. Sorry, I'm like...
Yeah, we need to put that a little closer
I'm
next
like
time.
3 feet from the monitor.
You're a good 4 feet away from the monitor.
And it's just not happening today.
Yeah, we need to make that bigger next time so that we can see it. But thank you anyway.
And that would be super hype. A cool TMNT game TMNT fighting game, I think that it would be awesome. But unless you're willing to add the other mutants that they have, I think that the character pool would be pretty small.
We're running out of characters.
Because you have the 4 okay, so you have the 4 Ninja Turtles. Please don't add the 5th Ninja Turtle. You have
Vanilla
Splinter.
Ice.
Yes, put Vanilla Ice in the game.
Yeah, put Vanilla Ice in there. That'd be perfect. We just need Vanilla Ice and then we'll be good.
Fabled Sandwich said the issue is that they try to add romance comedy and and like a modern take to the stories. Like,
no, we need to go straight. Yo, Dark Souls can't have romance. Can you see that? I can see them adding like this romance thing into Dark Souls. He falls in love with like this other soul from the other realm, and just he's trying to get to her. No way, that's Mario. The princess is not in this castle.
Oh man,
I have nothing. I don't know.
I think that a Dark Souls movie would be incredible.
I agree with you. I think that'd be really cool. But so anyway, so let's go through our list again one more time. For those of you joining us, we just went through a list of games we'd love to see, movies, shows. We talked about Hunger Games came up. If it was done right, I think that'd be cool. We talked about John Wick, Braveheart, Serenity, Stargate, the game that was never made. They said they were going to make it, never made it. Quantum Leap. I
had Konosuba. I had A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place would be cool.
Percy Jackson.
We couldn't remember if somebody ever made I Am Legend.
Maze Runner. I had Clue, and then which Clue's kind of cheating because Clue is also a board game. But
and I think there's a movie already.
There is a movie, but I'm just talking about like any kind of like murder mystery.
Yeah.
Where everybody's like in a house and you have to figure out who the killer is. I just want to be the murderer and try to get away with it. I swear I'm not a psychopath.
And with that, we're going to be signing off. And as usual, we have no idea what we're doing, but we're having a good time doing it. I throw things at Javier all the time. Javier, I think you should sing your way out of here today. And I'll back you up.
Should I?
Yeah, let's do the cup song. Ready? And that's how we're signing off today. We're going to come up with real sign-off stuff. Again, for those of you joining us on here, this will be on YouTube. It'll be on Facebook. And we're dropping podcasts. That's right. Yeah, we're dropping podcasts like sandwich.
One second. Yeah. Fabled Sandwich. We are like uploading this to YouTube, Spotify. Yep. Aren't we on?
So far, we have Anime for Newbies. That was a whole lot of fun.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking strictly like because Fabled Sandwich is like, man, I can't believe I joined this late.
Yeah. So, we're dropping these like you drop combos. They are going down. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
We're dropping these like he drops combos.
I drop combos all the time, okay? So yeah, they're going in there. We have 2 already. It just got approved for iTunes and Google, podcasts. But the videos are going to be on YouTube on the Gamers on the Edge channel.
Sandwich said not like this, Angel.
I love Fabled. Guys, join us so much, man. This is so much fun. Yo, we're going to sing this one out for you. I just threw Javier under the bus. He had no idea he was singing.
No, I didn't.
We're holding cups, so let's do the cup song. Go ahead. We're not playing the cup. I'll back you up. Go for it.
I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottles whiskey for the way. And I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say? When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
See ya!